It never ceases to amaze me how much good things I can hear, or how many good things I can hear about a game, and then wind up not liking it. And it's not that the game is bad, it's just that it lacks. Recently, I put up the video for my WildStar beta playthrough, and I had a lot of fun, to be honest, and I did certainly like a lot of elements of the game, but I will not be playing WildStar. Gee, Kitten, why won't you be playing WildStar? Well, for a lot of reasons. Honestly, it lacks. The combat is really fun, and it's done in a way that I haven't seen done before, with like the range indicators, and there's a lot of movement during combat, which I like. It reminds me of a lot of the reasons I liked Terra's combat. But you don't see me playing Terra, do you? Do you know why that is? Because it's boring. Combat mechanics are only so important. There is a certain point where story, graphics, interesting content, I mean, they all add up, they all matter. WildStar has a very unique look. I like that it has this really cool kind of like comic book style. It's really nice. But, you know, the first video I watched about WildStar was talking about its crazy customization, and how awesome its customization is, and how it's, oh man, you want to customize this? Customize it. You want to customize that? Do it. You want this that way? Do it that way. And then the first time I went to make a character, I was shocked by how limited my options were. For a game that's touting its customization as it being one of its biggest selling points, I find that laughable. But that isn't what made me not want to play WildStar. Customization for characters, whatever. That's not what makes you play a game like that. Was it the fact that it's going to be pay to play with a subscription? That's part of it. But even that's not the determining factor. I just shelled out a shit ton of money for Arcade. It's because it's boring. It's pretty. The story is even interesting to a degree. And if it was an RPG single player and I didn't have to go through all the tons of grindy combat to get to the story, I'd probably play it all the way through. But it's boring. I was bored. And you know what? If you like it, that's totally fine. I'm not telling people don't play WildStar. I am simply explaining why I will not be playing WildStar. And it's really a shame because I think it had a lot of potential. And people are like, well, Kitten, what about the amp system? Boring. It's been done. It's been done over and over. It's just a different way of doing skill trees. That's all it is. It's boring. It's been done. It's tired. I'm tired. I want something different. Which is why I'm playing Arcade, probably. I really am disappointed. I was hoping for a lot more from WildStar. Now, I had considered playing WildStar, even though it was kind of boring, because the story was really cool, and the combat was fun. But then I went to the forums. As a good beta tester, I always go on the forums. And I decided to give my feedback about the one thing in the game that I really felt like I had something to say. Character customization. And I talked about how I felt like it was really lacking. You know, hair colors and eye colors and style choices, you know, hairstyles and face styles, they were really lacking. And then I mentioned, too, that I felt like there weren't enough body type choices. You know, there's all these really exaggerated body types. Like for the guys, you got the big hulking, I am a big strong man. And then for the women, you have the, I have a teeny tiny Barbie waist and giant boobs and giant butt. And that's all fine and well and good. If you want that character, cool. I sometimes make my characters look like that. Depends on what I'm playing them for, what their backstory is. Because even in a game like that, I have a backstory for all my characters in my head. Because that's just the way I am. But my options for something a little more realistic were 1, maybe 2. Forms for each of those. So when I made my Orin Stalker, the Orin is the little animalistic looking race, I was disappointed. I didn't want her to have a really striking hair color. Like, I wanted it to be pretty. I always want my characters to be pretty. But I didn't want it to be like bright blue or pink or purple. I wanted it to be subtle. And I didn't want her to be like giant boobs and ass because that's not the kind of character she was. It's not like she was, you know, this smooth and sultry little temptress. No, no, no. She is the little lithe warrior of the night. And I had one option for a remotely realistic waist size. So I talked about that on forums, and I was like, you know, it would be nice if we had more options. At no point did I ever say, we should take away these other body types and hair colors and hairstyles. We should have less. I was like, know. I would love to see more. And I even acknowledge that I know it's a beta, so I hope that, you know, as the beta continues, we get more. Because that'd be really cool. And then the WildStar community shit all over me. They accused me of being angry because the women had big boobs, which wasn't my issue. No, don't care. They accused, I used the term porn star body. Now, I'm autistic, so sometimes I don't get social norms, but even I know that saying someone has a porn star body is a fucking compliment. It means you are drop dead gorgeous hot, okay? It means everybody wants you, whether you're a guy or a girl. You are the epitome of what is considered sexual attraction to whoever can be possibly sexually attracted to you. Okay? So that's what I mean when I say porn star body. But apparently that's an insult. I'm sorry I called the characters sexy. How dare I? But no, the community's lashback was probably 80 to 90% bullshit. And that was when I decided, I'm not playing this fucking game. Because I don't want to play a game full of people who think that more is bad, and that compliments are bad, and that new ideas are bad, and oh my god, how dare you want more content? What's wrong with you? This game isn't about content or customization. Wait, except that it fucking is. Blow my fucking mind. So needless to say, I will not be playing WildStar. For a lot of reasons. Mostly, though, pay to play, shitty community. Thank you, WildStar, for inviting me. And when I say WildStar, I mean the WildStar community, because it's not the devs' fault. But thank you, WildStar community, for your lovely welcome to this beta player. I really felt like I was able to contribute and be part of your community. You know, I've been playing the Strife beta. You know what I love about it? There's only one person on those forums I can't stand. Mostly because those people listen. The devs listen, the other players listen. They have intelligent, interesting discourse. They don't always agree. Actually, there's a lot of disagreement. But it's done in a very respectful way. You know? If I had come to the WildStar forums and said, you know, I want more customization. And somebody had said, well, you know, more customization is always nice. But I think it's more important that we do. I would have told them, well, I'm not talking about right now. Or tomorrow or next week. Just, you know, someday, I want more content. Even World of Warcraft introduced more hairstyles and color options, like 5-6 years down the road, okay? Asking for more content is never a bad thing. Unless you're asking for different new content. Does that make sense? Like, I'm asking for more of what already exists. I had people try and argue with me that, like, what I was asking for didn't belong in the game. And I'm like, well, but it's already there. There just isn't a lot of it. There's a very limited selection. So if it doesn't belong in the game, then why is it already there? You know? I really felt like those people weren't listening. They weren't bothering to try and understand where I was coming from, or they weren't bothering to try and understand what I was saying. They didn't care. All they cared about is I wasn't 100% happy, and how dare I not love their game? Get over it. People disagree. We have different opinions. It's okay. People disagree with me all the time. It doesn't offend me. It does offend me, though, that those people weren't willing to listen. And that they were so quick to judge. You know? They put words in my mouth. They twisted what I said. They interpreted things that were clearly not there. And even when I clarified, they still scrounged for those little scraps that they could possibly twist to fit their mood. If you ever beta test a game, respect your fellow beta players. Respect the devs. You know, beta players are important. A lot of people think, well, they don't actually listen to beta players, but they do. I mean, if they're a good company, they do. I know S2, while I've been playing Strife, have really done a great job of listening. And I don't always agree with the changes they make, but I'm one voice in thousands. But I feel like I have a voice, and that's important. So game devs, beta testers, anyone watching this, it matters. It matters a lot. You know, as far as WildStar goes, yeah, I'm only one player, but I'm sure there's other people who feel the same way I do. And I have a feeling that WildStar's not going to hit the numbers that they want to hit if they don't make some changes. Like, for example, their pay-to-play model. Subscription services just don't work anymore. They just don't. Nobody wants to shell out month after month after month for a game that, you know, they might play for a couple hours if they're not busy, if they have time. Nobody likes that. Nobody. Rift really got it right when they were like, hey, let's go free to play and then have patron services. Done. Cool. We're still making money and people are playing, but now you don't have to pay if you don't want to. Are you broke? That's cool. It matters. Times change. People change. Perceptions and expectations change. And subscription fees for games just don't really work anymore. You're not going to find success there. And I can almost guarantee you that within 1 to 2 years, WildStar will go free to play. Because they won't have a choice. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if I'm right. But for those of you who watch my live stream and watch my gaming videos, that is why I will not be playing WildStar.